What's up, Spice Droppers? It's Charlie from Ferndale. So for this soft opening, I was either going to go with Rick and Morty or with Little Rascals. So comment which one you like and insert nostalgic memory here. Okay, so first, of course, we need the jars. I apologize, I could not find two clear jars, but this purple one will work just fine. And, of course, the first step is to fill these jars. I am using English cucumber today because, quite honestly, the salad cucumbers, aka pickling cucumbers, looked disgusting in the store this morning. So, with this English cucumber, I'm gonna cut off the ends. You're gonna do that with any cucumber you use. One other thing I like about English cucumbers is I can stand this up and cut it exactly where it needs to be for the right size for this jar. And because I'm doing two jars, I'm going to do one of spears and one of slices so I can use these for both. With these English cucumbers, it's probably going to be about one cucumber per quart. You do want these to be very snug in there, so it's better to go overboard and have some leftovers than to not have enough. I'm going to go ahead and cut this lengthwise, and then this is up to you. You can do halves again. You can do thirds. I kind of like to do thirds because I just feel like more exposed flesh means more flavor getting into them. And now for the slices, depending on what you're using it for, you're going to want different thicknesses. If you're doing hamburgers or sandwiches, you're going to want them thin. I like mine a little thicker because I will just be snacking on them. So about a 1/2 inch thick. We also have garlic cloves. I have 6 here, cut in half. And I have 6 pearl onions here. You can use regular onions sliced up. You can leave the onions out if you want. I just like these. Completely optional here are these dehydrated arbol chilies. I'm using 4 here. We're going to put 2 in each. I did cut the stem off. And we don't need to rehydrate them because we are going to be pouring boiling hot liquid on them. So that'll take care of that. So when we're putting the spears in the jar, what I like to do, I'll take 3 of these halves of garlic, throw those in the bottom. We'll take 1 of these onions, 1 or 2 of the onions, put them in the bottom. And then I'm also going to put in, we have 1 tablespoon of mustard seed. And these, of course, don't have to be exact because it's going to be great either way. We have 1½ teaspoons of black whole peppercorns, and I have a 1/2 teaspoon of celery salt. Now we'll go ahead and just lay these in here. And again, when it's getting snug like that, you want to just keep pushing them in there so that they kind of don't move around. You know, I see I got a little gap here. Just keep pushing them in until you can't fit anymore. We used about 1½ cucumbers on this, and that's good, nice and tight in there. I'm going to take 2 more of these onions here because we left those, and if you can, push them in there. Take these, 3 more of these half garlic cloves, put them wherever they can fit in there. All right, and don't worry, I didn't forget the dill. We're just going to put that in later because we don't want it to wilt when we put that boiling hot water on top of this. Now for the chips, same type of thing. We're going to put the same spices in the bottom. Now here I'm going to put 2 of the garlic cloves down. We'll put 1 of the onions. Then I'm going to do a layer of these chips. Now I'll put 2 more of these garlic cloves in. Another 1 of these onions. And we'll keep going with these chips. And I'll do 1 more layer, just to spread that flavor around a little bit. So now we can set these aside for a minute and make that brine. Before we make that brine, I completely forgot to add these. Put those peppers in, push them down as much as I can. All right, now let's make that brine. Okay, now get ready for the easiest brine to remember of all time. For every 1 quart of pickles you make, it is 1 to 1 to 1 to 1. So, because I'm making 2 quarts, that's right, we have 2 cups of water, 2 cups of vinegar, and then I have 2 tablespoons each of sugar and fine salt. All we want to do with this is bring this to a boil so that sugar and salt don't separate from the liquid and go to the bottom of the pickles. So we have come to a boil. The salt and the sugar are all dissolved in there. We're going to take that off the heat, let that cool down for just a minute, And then we can pour it over our cucumbers. All right, so we have our jar here. We're gonna slowly pour that over. We wanna fill it up, not exactly to the top, but we definitely want all of the cucumbers covered. And if you need to, you can push down. Those are pretty tight in there, so I just need a little more liquid on there. All right. All right, same thing with this one. Just pour the rest of that liquid on there. Perfect. So we're not quite done yet. Obviously, we still need to put some dill in there, but we're gonna let these cool for about an hour. So I'm gonna go take Hugo on a walk, and I'll see you guys when we get back. All right, Hugo and I just got back from our walk. It's been a little over an hour. These are nice and cooled down now. I planted dill, I think 3 years ago, and it never grew until this year. And now it's just everywhere, not in my garden, but around it. So I picked a ton of fresh dill, and we're gonna go with, depending on the size, 2 to 3 sprigs of fresh dill in each jar. Just like the cucumbers themselves, you want this completely submerged. So we're gonna put these lids on and put these in the fridge overnight. Now there is a good, better, best here. Good would be overnight, 8 to 12 hours. Better would be leaving them in there for at least 24 hours. And best would be waiting at least 48 hours. So I guess I'm gonna go out and get some lunch, and I will see you Spice Droppers in the morning. Good morning, Spice Droppers. The time has come. It's been about 20 hours. All right, a little spear here. Nice and crunchy. A little dill, a little vinegar. Oh man. They didn't get the full 48 hours. These are good. Yeah, these are a winner. Experiment with those flavors. We're not called Spice Droppers for nothing. Throw some different stuff in there. We did it again. Boom! Peace and love. I love you.